Hi, Erik. It's great to see you. It would be much better to have you here with us in Portugal, but unfortunately, current situation has a lot of travel restrictions. But it's a pleasure, and we at the Foundation are pretty excited with this long-term partnership with the 29K org. Why 29K?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Carlos. So 29K, the name comes from the fact that we live roughly 29,000 days in a lifetime. So we chose that name to, highlight the importance of using your day as well, basically.
And why 29K now in 2021?
Well, I mean, the need for the type of tools and development and reflecting on what is important is, of course, during this time in our age, but also facing the challenges that we have, not only with the pandemic, but with the environmental challenges or the mental health challenges. You see that there is a lot of reasons for us as human beings, basically on the planet, to reflect on the direction that we're taking and maybe make some significant changes.
And here in Portugal, we believe really that launching 29K FJN will help people to increase their well-being, also work out their mental health, subjects that are sometimes hard subjects to be discussed. People tend not to talk too much about them. How can 29K help people to feel better, to have more, to have a better life at the end of the day?
Yes, I mean, historically, there's been this huge taboo about talking about a lot of these topics. And I mean, in recent years, psychology has made massive developments. So actually, today, psychology, we know how to solve around 95% of all the issues that people, struggle with, but also how to develop, a well-being, a flourishing life, basically. So science has come very far. And the issues at hand is more how do we make these tools and these processes available to people, and this is what we've been working on at 29K. So to give people the tools and the support designed by the best psychologists in the world, where you can actually use these tools and practice them together with others, so it becomes meaningful to actually go through the process and create the real change that you may be needing in your life, or just the changes that you want to have.
And that's a very important part of what you are doing, and why FJN is so excited is the fact that this is scientifically based. Can you let us know what's the difference and what's unique about this approach?
So for us, we see that this topic is so important for us. So we say that if we're going to do this, we have to do it with the best researchers in the world, and also just use the best interventions that already exist. So there's been, as we said, lots of studies done, a lot of tools that have been proven to be effective. And what we do is make them available and lovable for the people who want to just use the platform. But then also we do research on the platform for the users that are there and give us access to that type of data, so that we can use the interventions, disseminate them, but also improve the science continually. And we have overall we've had over 100 of psychologists and researchers who have been developing the programs and adding to it, and continually do so, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm. One of the unique things that we've been discussing is the fact that with all this science behind 29K, the interventions can be deep and long-lasting. So this really can make a difference on the persons that will use the application. Can you explain us how to maximize that impact, and also the importance of the sharing part of the application?
Many of you who are listening know, maybe, I mean, eventually you find a tool, or you listen to a researcher, or you have a book around mental health, and maybe there are some tools. The problem is usually, if you get access to it, the problem is that you don't use it. And what we found in 29K is that basically you need three components to have long lasting change, and this is what science shows. So one is you need great tools that are for your need, basically. Secondly, you need to practice over time. So, working with yourself 8 hours one day is not as effective as working 1 hour a day for 8 weeks. And then thirdly, the more important part is actually people don't necessarily develop that much by themselves in isolation, but we develop very much in relationship to others. So these three components is actually what we built the entire platform on, is matching people with tools that are effective for their needs, enabling them to practice with a process over time. So our courses or programs are, between 3 and 8 weeks. And then you do that in smaller groups of peers. So sharing our experiences, sharing our reflections with others, And what you discover then is, and this is amazing, is that people feel alone, but that's not true. Like they are not alone with their longings or their issues. This is usually what we share the most as human beings, and just having a place to be heard and seen is very, very meaningful. And it is also something that will enable people to stay motivated throughout the process and then reach at the end of the process, a deep and lasting change.
Today is the first day. The content will be available in Portuguese with great ambassadors that are giving their faces to help promote well-being, mental health here in Portugal. What can we expect for the future? So what will be the new things that we will be making available in the coming years? And having in mind that together, Fundação José Neves and also 29K.org, we expect to impact in the coming years 1 million lives in Portugal that can have a better life because we are trying to help.
So I mean, the idea is basically to make this type of support throughout life's changes available for everyone. Very much like Wikipedia did for information, we see that we as a foundation and in this partnership can make support for life's transitions, becoming a parent or losing somebody or starting a new job or any change in life. There is tools for that, and what we see is that we want to make those tools available and launch more and more programs as the years come, and also make this even more motivating and supportive and effective as we continue with the community of users, basically.
That's great. It was great having you here, Erik. See you soon, and let's make 29K FJN a success here in Portugal.